We're live. How is everybody doing? Welcome to another live stream. Here we go. Got a good one for you guys today. That's for sure. Bitcoin has seen a retracement, which is what we were looking for. It did look like Bitcoin was potentially forming a falling wedge pattern before continuing higher. However, it ended up dropping down with a typical bar-shaped pattern. Draw the eyes and a nice big smile. Typical bar-shaped pattern indicating that we still do not have much liquidity in the market. But anyway, I won't get too technical just now. Shout out to those of you who have tuned in. Smash up the likes if you're coming in to join us for today's live stream. Hope you are all excited. Let's get a quick audio and visual check to make sure everything is okay. Welcome to the live stream once again, ladies and gents. Here we go. So, like I said at the very beginning here, we've seen a nice pullback. We've effectively reset the trend, in my opinion. If we measure this from high to low, and we take a look at how far Bitcoin dropped, that's an 8% drop within 3 days. And actually, most of this drop, 7.5% of this drop happened within less than a day, within 15 hours, right? So we're definitely doing well, in my opinion, in terms of retracing and doing so quickly. We've also been able to buy that back up really quickly as well. One of the key signs that you can tell to see if this market is healthy is looking at Ethereum. And my goodness, Ethereum is flying right now. Look at Ethereum against Bitcoin. This is the famed breakout that I was warning you guys about since we were down here. And I was buying Ethereum since it was down here. VIPs know all about that. It's now managed to get that beautiful breakout, and it is significantly outperforming Bitcoin. Now, the reason that's important, and guys, as you come in and do me a favor and smash up those likes so we can keep the stream running for as long as possible. The more you guys are showing your love on this live stream, the longer I'm going to be going. I've got the whole day free. So if this ends up being a 6-hour live stream, then shit, I better order my burrito right now, because I'm here with you guys. Smash up the likes as you come in and make sure you're subscribed as well. Because this breakout is something that we've been looking for a very, very long time. It's really nice as an analyst when you put out analysis and, I'm not doing this bullshit ADHD style analysis that everyone else is putting out, right? So it takes time to be correct, but when you finally are correct, it feels so much better. So this is a very, very nice feeling indeed today. The fact is, though, it's not time to celebrate yet. And I'm going to give you a few reasons for why we're still not in the safest of places in these markets at the moment, so just stay tuned for that as well. It's obvious for Ethereum against Bitcoin. It hasn't hit its resistance yet. It's just broke out of this downtrend, but it's still got a fair chunk of resistance up ahead at this 0.077 BTC per Ethereum token level. However, if we look at Ethereum against the dollar, it's a much nicer picture. And actually, we can see this very, very clearly. We can see the effect of this. See, the previous chart was Ethereum against Bitcoin. This is Ethereum against the dollar. Let me bring the chart back. I don't know where it's gone. Hello, there we go. And let me just show you how Bitcoin has been performing during the very same time period, right? It really says a lot, right? If you look at my cursor, let's put these both on the 1 hour time frames just so it's a little bit easier. We peak at the same time between Bitcoin and Ethereum right here. It's peaking at the same time, but what's not happening is, when that pullback came, Bitcoin actually did not manage to recover a lot of that loss, but Ethereum did, and Ethereum is now basically right back up at its local highs, right? So again, the reason that this is important and the reason that I want to talk about it is that if you've got a situation in the market where, let's bring us back to the normal chart that I look at for Bitcoin. Big deal, guys. Big deal, ladies and gents. I'm about to say something super, super important. When you've got a situation in these markets where you manage to break out of quite a long-term resistance, kind of downtrend, right? I mean, from the all-time high, and we're not out of the woods yet. I mean, we've done a lot, don't get me wrong. Like, it's not a switch, right? Like, it's a gradual, we break one area of resistance, and then, there's a bit of celebration, and you break another one, and another one, and another one, and it just keeps snowballing and snowballing. That's how it works. It's not like an on switch where all of a sudden we're super bullish. It's like, there's multiple different barriers we need to cross, and each barrier we cross gradually the more bullish we become. It's like a sliding scale. It's not an on and off switch, which is very important, because again, like a lot of people that are new to these markets, they just don't know this. They get misled. You know, it's easy to believe that you know, it works like a binary thing, but unfortunately that's not reality. And then at that, the next layer of complication, although the final layer of complication for this, is that even when it's like a gradual slider towards being bullish, even then you're only weighing up probabilities. And that's what really trips people out, because people want to make money now. They don't want to think about it. They want the profit in their pocket today. They want it tomorrow, but no later than tomorrow. But of course, if you're playing calculated probabilities, shit, it can take a while, you know. And again, that's what real trading looks like. That's what real trading means. If you want to jump inside a VIP and see what that actually looks like in front of you, see how the practical application of that is going ahead in this market right now by yours truly, by myself, then you can follow these steps on screen right here. But again, the big deal with this right now is that we did manage to break out quite nicely, and we have broken quite a few very important barriers. We've broken this downward sloping resistance line, and even more importantly, in my opinion, we've broken the 46k area. But how this all relates to Ethereum is that, you see, if we've seen a pullback right here, if we've seen this pullback right here within this context of breaking resistance, breaking barriers, doing some pretty good bullish stuff, then we see a pullback and altcoins perform better than Bitcoin, right? And I don't know if this is like a recurring theme across the rest of the altcoins. It doesn't really look like it, but we can actually check this out. Let's just go ahead and look at CoinMarketCap, just to see if this is indeed a recurring theme. So Bitcoin up by 1.3%, and yeah, I mean, altcoins generally are up by a little bit more. Yeah, so I mean, altcoins generally are performing a little bit better. We can also see Bitcoin's dominance over the last 7 days. Has it dropped? Oh no, it's actually gone up. Okay, well, that's interesting. And so the reason that this is significant for me specifically with Ethereum is that, you see, if Ethereum is continuing to gain strength at a time where the market is pulling back, that's showing us that while the price is dropping lower, indicating that people are selling off, underneath that, if you peel a layer behind that, what's actually happening here is that people are willing to take on more risk. They're right now, you know, and people are only willing to take on more risk when they're optimistic, when they feel safe, when they feel greedy, you know, when they're making money, then they want to take on more risk, right? If you've just lost a lot of money and you feel poor and you feel broke, you're not going to want to take risk. You're going to want to safeguard what you have, of course, unless you have an unnaturally high risk appetite. But most people don't. And so what we have right now in this market is a clear display with numbers. This is not me pulling this out of my ass. This is numbers on the screen right now showing us that people are willing to speculate in this market, even in the middle of pullbacks. And that to me is very, very significant, showing us that we're in a good place. You know, as long as Bitcoin is able to stay above this level, stay above basically this yellow box, I'm actually kind of surprised it went all the way down to this yellow line at 44. I did say that this is kind of like our final area of support, and so it's nice that we were able to use it, but in all honesty, I did expect us to find support in this box. But as long as we stay above it, we're good, because this is our support, right? Why is it our support? It's because this was our area of resistance for a long, long time. Not only recently, but historically as well. I'll show you in just a moment, but take a look at all of these support hits. This has been a very, very significant area of support. And then when it flipped into resistance, it was also very significant resistance, right? And so definitely an important level. And to see that we're now back above it, that's a good sign. You know, on the 4-hour time frame, look at what we've got right here. We've got another, it is 2 hours. It's not, you know, I mean, it's a long time, but we've got a bullish hammer that's formed right here, showing us that within this very candle, you know, we traded down into this box and we've managed to recover that, and we're trading back up. You'll see this if I zoom in onto like the 30-minute time frame. Look at this, traded down into the candle and now recovered back up. That's what this bullish hammer means. That's the shape. It's called a bullish hammer. By the way, if you don't know this stuff, I teach you all about it inside the 𝗧𝗙𝗙𝗦𝗧𝗘 Academy course. It's actually super straightforward. You can actually bang out the whole course from A to Z, depending on how dedicated you are and how quick you are, within a couple of days. Obviously better if you take a little bit longer so the information sticks in, but it's all about, I mean, absolutely every single thing you need to know about how to trade and analyze the way I do. And then of course the real power there comes in with 𝗧𝗙𝗧𝗧 VIP as well, because you can watch it all side by side. I wanted to show you this beautiful chart right here of my Ethereum trade with all of the numbers. You know, this yellow line right here is the entry level that I chose, roughly $2,830. And from there, I was able to secure plus 95% profit. I was able to lock this in within less than 5 days of the trade opening, right? The trade opened around roughly the 21st, and then this area was hit around like the 26th of March, right? So just a couple of days ago. From there, continued taking profits on this way up and a little bit higher as well. Just kind of been taking profits in this market. My stop loss was also raised. At first, my stop loss was around here in a 20% profit, which means a minimum 20% profit if the market drops down lower. Then I was able to raise my stop loss up by 8% from my entry level, which guarantees for me now a minimum profit. If this whole thing shits the bed and drops massively, guarantees for me a 68% profit. And it actually goes a lot deeper than that, because you know there is a method to these numbers and why I've chosen these numbers. I mean, you know, if you look at how I secured this 95% profit, you know, I mean, that is at a local top. That's extremely impressive accuracy to be choosing a potential take profit target, and there is a method to all of this. This is the reason I've been able to, you know, pick such a good entry level, pick such a good exit level. You know, obviously it's not the top of the trend, but that doesn't matter. I'm not looking to, you know, buy the absolute bottom and sell the absolute top. I just kind of want to be good enough, because you know, you don't have to be 10 out of 10. If you're just 7 out of 10 times in a row, you're going to be really well off. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to hit it all. You just need to hit it consistently. So there's a lot behind this, and I explain absolutely every single aspect of this to VIP members. It's been an incredible experience for those of you who are inside. Of course, I've been seeing the messages as well. And as soon as this trade is finished, as soon as it's closed, I'm going to also create a breakdown video where I analyze absolutely every single amendment that I made to this trade, absolutely everything, every single change, every addition, every subtraction, every move of my stop loss, every take profit. I'm going to talk about it in even more detail, just like these live streams and videos. So if you like this stuff, then again, all you have to do to join 𝗧𝗡𝗡𝗧 VIP is follow these steps on screen, and then jump inside, still at very good prices considering where Bitcoin is as well. So definitely take advantage of this, because it's just going to get more expensive if Bitcoin keeps rising up, because we keep our prices in Bitcoin. So there you go. First link in the description down below, at 𝗧𝗡𝗡𝗧 button at the bottom of any post, and then send message to ask me how to join 𝗧𝗡𝗡𝗧 VIP. This whole process, you can do it right now. Since I've started talking about it, you'd already be done if you started it. And you'd probably also have the information by now as well, because my assistants are online. So there we go. That's a very impressive trade right there. Still in it. I'm targeting $3,600. That's where I think this thing will go. I would expect there to be a significant area of resistance up here for Ethereum, because it's trending up in largely just a straight line. I'm going to be liberal with it. Obviously, if it's making me money, there is no reason for me to close it you know, prematurely, but yes, it is something that I am keeping a close eye on. For now though, seeing this breakout, you know, I mean, this punch above support, resistance, is phenomenal. We're in the right place. As long as we stay above this, like I said, I am expecting some of that bullish momentum to push the market higher. And actually, on that note, I want to show you what my indicators are showing me. I'm going to stick to some of these bullish things just for the moment, but again, there are some bad signs that I must cover with you, because obviously my job as an analyst and a YouTuber with a voice of reason, as I like to be, is I've got to analyze both sides. And that means, unfortunately, showing myself why I might lose money as well, because shit, it happens sometimes. And you know, and if Bitcoin is going to drop and I'm going to lose money because of that, how catastrophic if I'm not aware of it. You know, at least I can be aware of it and prepare myself and just know all the facts of this market, so I can stay as level-headed as possible, right? You want to stay level-headed when you're making money, as I'm in this profit right now, and you want to stay level-headed when you're losing money, because that's the only way you can guarantee, well, you can't guarantee better results in the future, but it's the only way that you can maximize your potential for better results in the future. Also, I'm in the United States. That's 12 fluid ounces. Like, for a European baby, you know, someone that lives in Dubai, this is huge. And it's like, how many milligrams of caffeine is this? 114 milligrams. Yeah, so that's more than a standard Red Bull in Europe is like 80 milligrams of caffeine. I don't know, I just find that hilarious. Shout out to TLX in the comments. Yeah, smash up the likes. Hell yeah, guys. If you're enjoying this live stream so far, do me a favor and smash up the likes. Let's take a look at these indicators as we get into this now. I'm also then going to take a look at your questions. So if you have any questions, begin dropping them in the comments now as well as you go down past that like button, if you are enjoying this live stream so far. And then I'm going to take a look at altcoins again, and just kind of freestyle with your questions. Oh, and also the bearish Bitcoin analysis as well. So with regards to the indicators that I'm looking at now, this 4-hour Ichimoku Cloud is potentially about to offer us a bit of support. If Bitcoin drops down again, we do have support with this cloud, and it stretches all the way down to $43,000. Realistically, I think our support actually stretches down to 40 or maybe even a touch lower. But I would feel quite upset if we lost the 44K area. Basically, if we fall below this level now, this prior swing low, that is the key level in terms of support in my opinion. If we drop below it, that would mean that we are potentially in a short-term downtrend now, and I don't want to have to deal with that, to be honest. I would rather that the market rises up after a pullback, but again, I'm just putting it out there. This is the support level that I'm watching. In terms of EMA support, we've lost it on the 4-hour time frame. However, we haven't even reached it on the 1 day. So it is close on the 1 day time frame. Another couple days, I think, and we're going to be able to enjoy some support from the daily time frame EMA ribbon, which is quite powerful, because if you look at how we were able to benefit from this indicator in the past, I mean, we usually do get at least a few bounces off this line. Take a look at, let's just let me, yeah, this is too many lines. Let me just delete everything here. You know, you can see, I mean, generally when this flips into support and all the shorter term moving averages cross above the longer term moving averages, which is to say when the brighter colors, when the lighter colors are on top, that means it's flipped bullish. Generally, if the price falls into it, we do get bounces, and they're quite nice. I know it might not look like a lot at the moment, but I mean, you know, if you're laddering a long order at every one of these lines, you would have on this occasion probably averaged an entry around over here. And that's a 9% rip to the upside on its first leg. That's within 2 days. Within 2 days, a 9% rip to the upside. I mean, you know, you're trading that on like 3-4 times leverage. That's a pretty good gain. It's a pretty good gain. You're looking at like 30-40%, something pretty nice indeed. On this occasion right here, you know, you would again be looking at a 7% profit. Again, you'd be looking at a 5%. This is all within a day. This is really, really impressive. And then within a couple of days, 15% move to the upside here. Again, this is all before leverage. So, you know, a couple, you know, 2-3 times leverage, you're already in a 30-45% profit. So this is a very reliable indicator. And it's consistently worked like this. Again, I mean, take a look at crossed bullish here. Bam, we fall into it. Bam, we fall into it. Bam, bam. Look at that. It's so consistent as resistance as well. This is not an indicator to fuck with, in my opinion. But then again, you know, you take a look at this as support. Now we're back in 2020 on the run up to 20K. Again, just phenomenal as support. In fact, this is what saves Bitcoin when it hits 42,000 for the first time and drops down to 30. It only bounces off from this daily EMA ribbon. So this is a really, really good sign in my opinion. You know, when it flips bullish, it's rare that we don't use it at least once, if not at least multiple times. So I'm really happy that we have that sign. I'm actually quite optimistic. And one of the things that this means, because we managed to get such significant breakouts past resistance levels right now, is that, you know, we can drop fairly hard, as we did. I mean, 8% within, I mean, 7.5%, as I showed you at the very beginning of this live stream. Make sure you rewind if you're tuning in late, by the way. You know, 7.5% within about 15 hours. That's a significant sell-off. But look, we still have a lot of support. You know what I mean? Like, it's a good place to be. It's a good place to be. So that to me is quite exciting. That's the EMA ribbon. Let's take a look at, yeah, some of the short-term time frames. Probably, yeah, not really showing as much. 4-hour. Yeah, we've got we did fail it. We're back in it now. Not looking perfect in my opinion, but it's something at least. And daily, 1-hour Ichimoku Cloud was slightly useful. Got a couple bounces from it. And then it ended up failing right here. Got a final bounce right here. Not particularly interesting. This is all fine, but now I want to talk to you about the bearish side of things. I'm just reading the comments. Where am I at in the US? I'm in Los Angeles. Follow my my Instagram if you wanna if you want to like keep up with where I'm at and stuff like that. Might do a meetup and stuff like that. I did a meetup here in LA last time, so I might do that again. Let me pull up a chart for you guys. This one's not nice. I don't like this chart. It's a little bit scary, I'll be honest, but that doesn't mean we ignore it. We lean into discomfort on this YouTube channel. So let me show you this chart right here. And this is not the bad chart. This next chart is bad. So I'm going to start with this one. With this chart, Bitcoin has been respecting this trend line for quite some time now, where and this stretches all the way back to August of last year. So this is summer last year when Bitcoin, this very bottom area right here was when Bitcoin bottomed out at about $29,000-$30,000, and then it rocketed up all the way to 69K. This is 53. I'm just saying this so that you have a bearing of where we are on the chart, right? I mean, this is basically the chart starts right here. This is what we're looking at, and actually I can just draw this line for you while I'm here, to be honest. Basically this line right here acting as support and resistance. If I move us back to this chart, wrong chart, to this chart, you can see that this line has offered the market some quite strong support over here. You know, from this level where it bounced up from, let me actually calculate what this was, $37,000 all the way up to 52 in one leg. That's pretty impressive. From low to high, that's a 40% move within 30 days, within 1 month. The next time we bounced off this line, though, it was much more significant. It was a 74% pump within 50 days. So a huge increase in price there. And again, it took just under 2 months. And then again, a beautiful support hit on this big flash crash that we had. Shout out to those of you who remember, who were watching this YouTube channel when that crash happened. You will remember how accurate our analysis was during the drop down and the subsequent rise back up. Guys, smash up the likes if you've been watching this channel during those times, because we've done so well. If you did find it useful, I do really appreciate that. Seems like people are asleep today. No notifications seem to have been delivered. Nobody's well, very few people have been notified of the live stream. Not really sure what that's about. Probably do another one tomorrow because it's a weekend as well. But yes, certainly did act as a good area of support in my opinion, from its low to, and I'm stretching this definition right now, but from its low to its high, within 22 days managed to bounce up by 24%. But then on the flip side is resistance. This has been quite a nasty resistance zone. Down by 24% in 10 days over here, down by 25% in 12 days over here, and now, yeah, we're down by a couple percentage points after a couple days. So according to this could be a problem. This could be a problem, and it's definitely worth paying attention to. Not only that, but again, on the daily time frame, we do have this Ichimoku Cloud offering some resistance to the market. Right? If I show you my Ichimoku Cloud on the daily time frame, you know, this is still a lot of resistance, and actually, I mean, at the very same time we get rejected from this red line, look at what else rejects us. It's this 200-day moving average that I was warning you guys about as well. You know, this is a very important line, and if we trace it back historically, you know, the market has interacted with it in some quite significant ways. Probably less so in the recent years, and definitely far more historically. Like if we go really far back with this blue line, just take a look at how the market has interacted with this line. You know, it's like 2016. Look at these big bounces we had. Look at this huge rejection that we had back in 2014. Definitely a line which can really hurt the market or support the market. Look at how we interact with this line right here. Big rejection here, huge rejection here, another rejection here. Look at that. When we flip above it, we start flying. More rejections, more support. A very important line. The market responds to this line. It does, and it's responded to this line again. This is why I wanted to kind of, you know, put in this cautionary note for you guys, because this could be a problem, you know. But the bright side of it is that if we do manage to flip above this level and we come back down to test it as support, well, if we see another 75% pump, 74% pump within 50 days, that's going to put us in, you know, the beginning of June, early June, at $85,000, a brand new all-time high, if we see similar price moves. So that's going to skyrocket us past 60K, it's going to skyrocket us past 70K, potentially even past 80k if we're looking at a situation like this, where we manage to flip above this line and turn it into support. That would be absolutely phenomenal. That is a very, very good position for the market to be in if we manage to get above this line. And getting above this line would also mean getting above the 200-day moving average. I don't know if I'm doing a good enough job in... Oh no, what's happening now? Where's my cursor? Has my... Oh, right, okay. Bear with me while I think my my recording setup has started to crap out a little bit, so that's moderately annoying. But I'll pull up my live chat on my phone. Just let me know if everything is displaying correctly, please, in the comments. This is the issue with live stream, guys, is if you get a technical issue, you cannot do anything about it. You know what I need is a tech team? I need like a proper office with a tech team to handle all of these issues for me. You're super useful, mate. Thank you. You're very, very welcome. Me and Crypto Kirby bringing out the lotion. I haven't seen him for a while. I think he's not uploading as frequently anymore, right? Come out to Chicago. I went there last year. It was beautiful. It was really, really nice. Chicago does food right. My goodness. Something about Chicago and food. It's unbelievably good. My last Instagram post was almost a year ago. No sir, that's the wrong Instagram. It's linked in the description. You can check out my legit page, because there's a lot of impersonators on my Instagram. What was I talking about? Oh yes, this moving average. Yeah, I really want to stress how important this line is, because yeah, I think that honestly a lot of people just aren't taking it seriously enough. You know, if we take a look at the fear and greed index, obviously it's really jumped up by quite a bit. We are still in neutral territory, which in my opinion is a good sign. It's actually just kind of slowly wearing down, grinding down a little bit, which is exactly what I want to see. It's showing us that people just aren't really believing this rally, which is a good sign. However, again, you know, look, if we are in a downtrend, you know, one of the things that somebody pointed out to me, which I was actually talking about a little bit, was that, you know, if this market is still in quite a bearish place, which it absolutely could be. This is my point, is we're not out of the woods yet. Well, yeah, I mean, take a look at this. This is a very compelling chart, you know, which I wouldn't want to ignore. I wouldn't want to take this lightly. We're still in line to produce a pattern like this, where we're trending down on the large scale. This is better shown to you on the weekly time frame, probably. Not so much. Let's go for 3 day. 3 days, perfect, yeah. Look at this, we're trending down. We have a few breaks in the trend, right? This is a significant break in the trend. This is a very small break in the trend. Another relatively small break in the trend, but this is a big one, right? I mean, you know, I can paint this quite nicely. Let me get a very thick line. Bam, there we go, going Miami style right now. Thick as fuck. You know, and then trending up a little bit. You can really, I mean, this is a textbook kind of pattern that you might expect within. I'm gonna do something to blow your mind right now. Take a look at this. I'm gonna open this up. I'm gonna hide all of this. And tell me that doesn't look like something you'd see in a textbook trading book, right? Like, you're moving down, you're trending upwards slowly, zigzagging, holding constant support and constant resistance. Obviously, I know the wicks go below the support area, but come on, you know, let's be reasonable. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, and then the market drops. Come on, like, if you've read a single trading book, you know, with charts in it, this is on page 1. Well, it's not page 1. This is on like chapter 2 or 3. You know, this is pretty early on. This is the kind of thing that I really hammer in VIP and the 𝗧𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗦 Academy course, because if you can spot these patterns, you've done like 90% of the job. Like, the rest of your life is easy as a trader. Big deal. Nobody's looking at the chart like this. Nobody is looking at the chart like this. I think it's super significant. When I say nobody, I mean, you know, like I'm not even gonna go into it, but yeah, definitely something quite significant. And so I wanted to paint that for you just so you can visualize that, because Bitcoin is in that exact pattern right now, and my goodness, that makes me want to take profits on my Ethereum position, I'll be honest, because this is not a good sign in my opinion. And if we start seeing, you know, like I said, this prior swing low get broken, again, we take a look at this on the 4-hour time frame, this swing low right here, if this breaks, the probability of us dropping all the way down to the bottom is going to be, you know, I mean, we are going to have that daily EMA support, you know, so, and that's just below this line. So it's not like it's totally over, you know, like and this is the thing, this is why I'm saying, like, you remember earlier on I was talking about how this is a slider, right? Going from bearish to bullish is a slider. You know, we're kind of like, I don't know, if being on this side is, you know, being right here, if this is like actively setting brand new all-time highs like we were doing at the end of 2020, beginning of 2021, you'd be over here. And, you know, dropping down to 30k, that's being over here. And I feel like we're kind of like just past the middle, somewhere here, almost like where the fear and greed index is actually. You know, just kind of just past the middle. Maybe, I think we're a little bit, yeah, 60 makes sense. On a reading of 0 to 100, I think we're at a 60 right now, you know, and this, you know, dropping below this level, that's going to drop us down to like a 30, you know, in my opinion, or a 40, you know, like it's going to be a big loss. It's going to be a big deal. So again, you know, these are, and you know what really convinces me about this bearish idea right now is that I hate this idea. I don't like this idea. I don't know about you guys, let me know in the comments, but I'm pretty sure you guys don't like this idea as well, because I mean, you can't even extrapolate a target. Like this is such a big pattern. Like, I cannot convey how disastrous it would be for the market, because you'd have to measure the height of the trend. That's minus 49%, minus $33,000, and you know, minus 49% down from here would put us at exactly $20,000, 20.3. If we drop by the same percentage, what was the dollar drop? One sec, 33k. We can't really even drop by 33k. I mean, if we drop by 33k, we're down at like $6,000. Yeah, it's a $5,000 Bitcoin, $5,500 Bitcoin. You know, if we do the same move, you know, which is, this is how you measure these kind of patterns, is you take the size of the it's called the flagpole, and then you move it to the breakout point, and that gives you a speculative target. So I don't know, you do with this information what you will, but I'm just putting it out there. Very bearish pattern. It might not be that bad, you know, you might not have to extrapolate it from there, perhaps only from here, because this is the last time we had a real continuation pattern on the 3-day chart. You know, so it's maybe not that bad, but still, I mean, this is not pleasant to say the least. I mean, where would this put us if we managed to break down, put us at a $24,000, $25,000 Bitcoin? I hate that idea. Also, I've tracked this as a macro bear flag. It can happen, absolutely. I like the idea, but not seeing the confirmation as Ethereum bulls break every time frame higher than an hour. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. If it did that, the lotion comes out and I sell everything I own. That would not be a lotion thing, bro. That would absolutely not. Like that's, bro, that lotion's gonna be collecting dust, dude. It's gonna be a dry spell for us all. No more Russians on yachts in Dubai, bro. It's gonna be a different life. So yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of those charts that I do find moderately concerning, and I wanted to share that with you. If you found that information useful, again, you know exactly what to do. Throw up the likes. I can't speak. Throw up the likes on this on this live stream. Let me just make sure I'm not missing any other notes real quick. Yeah, and I guess the other thing that I just want to stress with you guys is actually on this chart. You know, this is also something which was quite significant in my opinion, is that I was talking to you about how, you know, Bitcoin had a little bit of an ascending triangle situation here. I'm going to draw it like this for simplicity, showing us that, you know, we had this resistance area. We were kind of, you know, trending higher with our support. We still haven't hit the target for this breakout. The target for this breakout, again, doing the exact same thing. I've got the, in this case, you draw it slightly differently because there is no flagpole. You just, because this is basically a right angle triangle, you just basically measure the height and you take that to the breakout point, which was right here. and or you could stretch it a little bit higher, but I'm just going to put it in the middle of the box. I don't want to go too crazy with this, and that puts us at a speculative target of $55,000. And so out of a, what is this, 22% breakout to the upside, so far Bitcoin's only completed 7% of it. So we're about 30% of the way through this potential move. Can definitely do more. And also just kind of looking at this pattern, we have managed to successfully break out of this ascending triangle as well. So again, this is another thing we were talking about on the YouTube channel. Smash up the likes for that if you haven't done so already. You guys know the deal. I got to do these call to actions. It's just what happens as a YouTuber. You got to do it. It's actually, it's worked out fairly well with this ascending triangle. We were definitely seeing it coming. Didn't necessarily think we'd break it so quickly. I did potentially think another test might have been possible, but that's totally fine. And now we have also come back down to retest this area as support, and then potentially try and carry on a little bit higher. So again, this looks absolutely phenomenal from this perspective right here. Again, bringing us back to that slider, it's just not such a clear answer. This is one of the reasons, like, when people meet me in person, especially in Dubai, because there's a lot of crypto meetups and I've gone to many of them, and they ask me, like, what do you think about the market? It's like, well, like, I'm in front of you standing without a phone or a screen. Like, it's just not a simple answer. Like, I need to show you this. I need to talk to you about this for 40 minutes so you understand it. Because I can give you like some, low-key BS answer. Like, we're pretty bullish right now, and that's like a 10-second conversation. But for you to really understand it, and hopefully you guys who've been in the live stream since the beginning will know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you really need the full story. You need to see every layer of it. Otherwise, you're not going to have a well-informed picture of what's going on. And you know what? If you don't think having a well-informed picture of what's going on with your money is important, then go ahead. But I've got a little bit more respect for my funds. So that's why I take it so seriously. I'm ready to go through your questions, ladies and gents. So if you've got them, do me a favor and drop them in the comments. And as usual, please write my name in your comment at @SamiLoyal. It's going to autofill to write the rest of my name, SAMI, and then write your comment. If you don't do that, I won't see it because there's just too many comments to go through. And then I'm going to take a look at the altcoins plus Ethereum again as well. Again, for those of you who didn't see, this is a chart of my Ethereum trade that I've made so far. The yellow line is my entry level. I know you can't see the numbers, but you don't need to. The yellow line is my entry level, and I've managed to raise my stop loss up to this area right here. I don't know if you can see this number, but that's 8% higher than my entry. And I traded this on 8 times leverage, so I'm looking at a minimum guaranteed profit on the rest of my position of plus 68%. Just take a look at how I was able to choose this entry point right at the very bottom, and how I managed to choose one of my profit targets right here. This was plus 95% profit. Again, right at the very top. This is very well selected entry and exit points. These are very well selected entry and exit points, and the reason I was able to choose these points was because I was carrying out strong TA. And if you want to be able to see what that looks like for my next trade, because I've already been talking to VIP members about what I plan on trading next and so on, that's all going to go inside of VIP as well. And if you want to be able to learn everything I'm doing, again, that's all right here. First link in the description down below. @4flights button, send message to ask me how to join. And again, I just want to remind you guys that we price this in Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's in a little bit of a dip right now. If Bitcoin continues going up, your USD cost goes up as well. So, or GBP or whatever currency you're talking about, it goes up. So please do keep that in mind. This is a great time to get in. It's so hot right now. And one of my favorite things about this trade is not the numbers. You're currently 160% profit, probably a little bit higher right now. It's not actually these numbers, it's that at every single step of the way, I was telling VIP members what I was changing, why I was going to take profit at these kind of levels, why I've moved my stop loss to this red line, for example. I've given them full explanations on all of it, and I'm going to do a breakdown video afterwards as well. So it's a lot of very in-depth content where you're not only watching me trade, but you're getting absolutely every single other bit of information aside from that as well. So check it out with these steps on screen if you're interested in joining. Can I take a look at RMRK? I've never heard of it, but I can do so later on. I just want to do some more general questions for Bitcoin and Ethereum and just kind of the general market right now. I'll take a look at specific altcoins in a minute. Sammy always has the same perspective on the market as me. Love your content. That is very, very cool. You've got a phenomenal perspective then, mate. Good stuff. Let's see what else we have here in the comments. Next resistance at 53k. Yes, I do believe so. I think that that's where the next significant area of resistance should be. Now that we've had a pullback, if Bitcoin does continue to rally up, I don't expect it to encounter any problems. Could have a problem at this prior swing high, but I don't really think that's going to be too much of an issue. So yeah, this was the last area that Bitcoin topped out at. 51, 52, this kind of $2,000 to $3,000 range. It's a $2,000 range, isn't it? From 53 to 51. This box is basically, yeah, where I think Bitcoin could end up struggling a little bit. This would be the next area that I'd be looking at, and the equivalent area for that, for Bitcoin, I'm sorry, for Ethereum, by the way, is a lot closer actually, in my view. Well, it's not really. It's actually there is no equivalent for Ethereum because it was so much stronger on the run up. The equivalent area is probably like right here. This is like the $4,000 psychological area, psychological and technical area of resistance. You know, so this could also be problematic for Bitcoin. I'm sorry, for Ethereum. However, the main one to watch here is going to be Bitcoin, I think, for this pattern right here. So that's the kind of next resistance I'm seeing. Do I think that the $55,000 move will more likely play out before we get a real 30% retracement? I see this as a minor support hit so far, actually pretty bullish. So Jason, if I understood your question correctly, is asking, do I think that after we hit this level, if we do, of course, because nothing is guaranteed, that after we hit these kind of levels around the mid-50s, that then we'll get a significant breakdown, you know, of like minus 30%? You know, is that how it's going to be? That's basically what Jason is asking, because he feels like this pullback is not significant enough. Well, you know, I kind of agree with you. I was saying that we've been rallying up too strongly and we do need a pullback, so we've now had it. But the thing to keep in mind is that this is really strong support, right? And anything lower and we'd be right back into really, really dangerous territory. So I'm glad we stopped here. For a bigger, see, this is the thing, is that especially when the market gets really bullish, I want to draw your attention to something, right? When the market's really bullish, and I'm talking like RSIs through the bloody roof kind of bullish, right? Look at the RSI right here. These kind of areas in the market, hide this indicator, these kind of areas, these kind of areas, you know, maybe these, nah, not really, maybe this. Let's just focus on these two spikes right here, though. This is probably, these are probably the most significant ones on the chart just for the moment. You're going to notice something very interesting, right? When the market is extremely bullish, when it's very, very excitable, when the market is very excitable, that's a brilliant word for this. Take a look at this. The RSI showing us the market is very, very strong. Are we getting pullbacks? No, we're not getting pullbacks. Even over here, when Bitcoin hits 20K, we do get a pullback, but it's like 16%. Yeah, look at that. It's minus 16%. It's not actually that big of a deal. And so what's really happening is the market, in order to correct while it's rallying up, isn't pulling back. It's just either kind of, you know, broadly speaking, trading sideways. I mean, with the exception of these few candles, it's just trading sideways, or it's slowly rising higher. Take a look at this. You can see very, very clearly right here. If I move us back to what happened on this rally up, very, very clear. Very, very, very clear indeed. We can see that the market rises up quickly and then slowly and then quickly again. You know, so that's our correction. Our correction is just up and then up slower and then up fast again. That's what happens in a very, very bullish market. Now, obviously, I don't think we're going to get that anytime soon, right? We have to be like in a much happier place, and I'm sure the fear and greed index around this time was a lot more bullish. Let's actually check that out. I'm curious. This was October of 2020, so we have to go back by more than a year. This is October. No, this is October, November. When did we break out? Yeah, so end of October, beginning of November. that kind of time. Yeah, so I mean, it was really high. Fear and Greed Index was, you know, readings of 70, you know, pushing up to 90. People were really, really excited. We're just not there yet at that level of excitement in the market. But, you know, a lesser form of this is, you know, take a look at the Fear and Greed Index right here, mid-October, kind of early October to, yeah, just kind of the bang on right in the middle of October. Look at this. Right in the middle of October, we're kind of floating around neutral territory, kind of like high 40s to yeah, just kind of 50s, just around there, you know, just around the 50 mark, just bang on neutral, which is exactly where we are right now. Look at how we correct. The trend corrects, just showing you like we're in a similar state right now. The trend, I mean, we do get some pullbacks, right? We do get some pullbacks, but broadly speaking, we're just moving up and then moving sideways. That's our correction. And so we're getting a time-based correction. And the reason I'm showing you all of this is that I do believe that, you know, if we are to get a correction at 53K, look, just don't be closed off to the idea that the correction looks like this, not like this. That's what I want to say, you know, like, if the market really is getting bullish, because this is one of the functions of the market, right? If the market really is getting quite bullish, it's not going to give you a chance to buy in, you know, and that's why we see higher lows. You know, when we see higher lows, that's basically showing us that where previously the market was able to drop down to, you know, what is this price level? Previously, the market was able to drop down to 33.2. The next time we even came close, we just couldn't crack such a low level. Buyers were ready to step in a little bit faster. The market just doesn't give you the same price again. You know, so you've got to be buying in a little bit faster, and that's an underlying sign of strength, right? That's why I was talking to you about this ascending triangle way before, you know, we even broke out, just kind of preparing ourselves for it just in case. Because again, it's all about probabilities, right? I was talking about the ascending triangle, but at no point did I ever say this is a definite thing that's going to break out. It's always probabilities. If you can't do that, you're fucked. Like, you cannot survive in this market, because you're just going to think everything in definites. That's not how it works. It's about probabilities and gaming them, understanding them. That's what this game is about. Let's see what else we got here in the comments. Thank you very much for such a great comment, Jason. On-balance volume shows enough volume has come in now to support a rally. That's great. I don't know how to use on-balance volume well enough to talk about it on YouTube. I'll probably embarrass myself, but I'm going to take your word for it. That's very cool. Will I venture into NFTs? I might if I get paid well enough, but otherwise I really don't care. It's I think it's a massive waste of time, but there's so much money in it, so I understand why people are into it. See what else we have. Yes, I'm understanding your question perfectly, Jason. That's great. Sorry for the condensed vague question. No, it's okay. David is saying, yes, this game is all about probabilities, except you have no real way of analyzing your odds. I would disagree. I think you're just not keeping a very comprehensive trading journal. And I think you're not backtesting enough, and I think you're not studying trading enough. I think you actually have a pretty good, I mean, it's never going to be 100%. It's never even going to be close. But you can form enough of an understanding of your probability of success, I think. It's just about removing emotion from the game. You know, if you can do that, you can keep going in with patience, and the probabilities will come in your favor if you're doing it well. Again, this is one of those things that I teach inside of the Four Flies VIP group. What am I doing in LA? Perhaps some real estate scoping? I'm always doing real estate scoping in LA. I'm going to move here one day. I don't know about move here, but I'm definitely going to buy a house up in the hills. So that's fun. But no, I just love LA. I have a lot of friends here. You know, Dubai is honestly like kind of too perfect. Like, it's perfect, you know what I mean? Like, everything is perfect, and you kind of forget what real life looks like when you're there, and then LA comes and bam, it's just like right back to, there's a lot of imperfection to this city. It's so disgusting in so many ways, but so is the rest of the world, you know, and you just don't see that in Dubai. So I just knew I wanted to leave Dubai. I love it. I love it to bits, but obviously, you know, it's getting quite hot. And then it's like, well, okay, where do I choose? Well, I used to live in London, but I hate London. I love LA, and there's a couple other spots. So yeah, cool, LA. What's up from Palm Spring? I don't know where Palm Spring is, bro. You're close by. We got a lot of rich MILFs over here. A lot of rich MILFs. Perfect. Check out open interest. I'm also not great with stuff like open interest. I don't want to look at that right now because I've not found it to be very useful. Open interest, yes, I have. Open interest actually confirmed this this rally before. I didn't talk about it, but I just looked at it casually. But long and short ratio, I haven't actually found to be super useful recently, and that's why I stopped talking about it. I'm from LA and living in Dubai, my G. Back in LA in 2 weeks. Amazing, man. It's a good. I think I know you though. I think I know who you are. Just looking at your profile picture. But yeah, guys, if you've got any other questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will probably look to wrap up the stream relatively soon. We're creeping up on that 1 hour mark. I want to take a look at some of the altcoins. You guys know that I'm a fan of Cardano. Not a fan of any coin, but I do like to trade Cardano. I have an abusive relationship with Cardano. It's actually probably the altcoin where I have the lowest success rate out of all altcoins. But it's just look at the volatility. I mean, it's just too good to pass up. Yeah, so it has managed to break above all of its support. Pretty much same position as Bitcoin. Yeah, I think this is just at the mercy of the rest of the market, to be honest. There's no point looking at this. Phantom continuing to rally up, but definitely in need of a pullback at some point, I think. At some point, I think. Potential Fibonacci retracement. Yeah, a little bit of resistance maybe at 1.68. Is this? Yeah, 1.68. Because if we take a look at this price level, if I remove the Fibonacci retracement, this is exactly where Phantom has struggled a little bit over these last months. Yeah, we've seen some interaction around this level just here in September, and then quite a bit more in December of last year, and then even more so between February and March of this year. So I would expect some trouble for this level. How would I get a visa for the United States? Well, I don't know yet, because like I said, I don't think I'll actually ever live here. The US is just too far gone, in my opinion, but certain parts are beautiful, and I think I'll just kind of regularly visit, you know, meet friends and stuff like that. I know there's quite a few ways though. I mean, it's I almost wonder if people make it sound harder than it actually is. I don't know. Great TA today. Thank you very much, Delilah. Go visit Joshua Tree National Park. That's the plan, bro. That's the plan. Once I get bored of the city, it's gonna take a while. But once I get bored of the city, I want to head up, because I've never done it. I've been in Cali like 4 or 5 times before, and I've never gone to any national parks. I mean, I've been to like parks, but not like the big national parks. So that's very much on the agenda. Palm Springs is 2 hours east of LA. Oh, is that where Coachella happens? I think it rings a bell now. I think that's where Coachella is. I was invited to Coachella. Not sure if I should go or not. What about CRO? I'm interested in CRO now. I refused to look at it for a long time, but gotta bite the bullet. See, that's my problem. I'm such a maximalist that, like, I'm a maximalist out of pride. That's a dangerous place. There's no good chart for this. I guess I'll just use Bittrex, although I really would prefer not to. My god, yeah, this is a bad chart. Because I'm looking for a chart with a lot of price history, you see. So, let's just go for this. See if there's no good chart for this, to be honest. Nah, can't analyze that. Let's take a look on CoinMarketCap instead. I had no idea about this, that they rebranded to Kronos. Well, just looking at this chart, this is not a very good chart to look at. Is there a way I can oh yes, bam, there we go. That's perfect. There we go. Zoom out. Beautiful, beautiful. So it's rubbing up against some resistance right now, that's for sure. Bam, right there, a little bit of resistance. But I think if it manages to break out above it, there's quite a nice rally to be had for this market. If I kind of measure up what that potential looks like, I can definitely see an easy 10% rally if it breaks this resistance. See, the thing is about coins like this is that above this line, there's not actually much resistance. Historically, above this line, the market shot up. Wow, this is a very thin line. 1 second. Yeah, historically, the market shot up. And when it dropped down, it basically also just dropped down in a straight line. It went up in a very steep straight line, and it came down in a less steep straight line. Pretty much. You know, not really any bounces in between. I mean, there are a few levels like this. You know, you could definitely identify this as a resistance area, and, you know, certainly kind of, actually, ideally over here in this kind of situation, I'd like to use a box. So kind of showing you that, yeah, like this could be a bit of a resistance box for the market. You know, but for the most part, it just doesn't really interact with these levels. So this is one of those coins where, you know, if you believe in it and you think it's going to do well, you know, technically it is just on the brink of a breakout, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing. And so I would like to see, you know, potentially a rally up to yeah, I mean, that's quite a substantial move from this potential breakout point. That's a 20 to 30% move, so that's huge. Huge. The issue is it's not a very clean chart. It's hard to say where the resistance ends. Because ideally you want to get above this peak, but as soon as you get above this peak, you start seeing some more reversal points in the market right here. So the cleanest, there is no clean point really. Potentially good for a spot buy, but that's about it. It's not a very good chart in my opinion. It's not something that I would be particularly interested in. It's just not super clear, and I prefer to have a little bit more certainty when I'm putting my money towards something. Yeah, so that is where Coachella happens. Nice one. Alright, let me take a couple of your altcoin suggestions as well, because I can see there's a lot of them. Let me start with Luna, because that's something that I wanted to look at for myself as well. Yeah, it's kind of struggled after setting its all-time high. That's surprising. This is a pretty good point, though. Let's start our Fibonacci retracement from here. We fell down to 382, bounced up above 236. Anything above 236 is a buy, I think. Well, actually, this chart is very similar to Bitcoin's, so I'm not so sure about that. It's too similar to Bitcoin, and that makes me think that it's at the mercy of Bitcoin. Probably will outperform Bitcoin. It is. Hey, this is. I know you can't see this, but it's up by 2.9% compared to Bitcoin's 1.8. Although that's compared to Ethereum's 5.6. 5.6. Damn. That says something, you know. So this is a bit of a sleeping giant, I think, the way I see it. I would have certainly expected it to pop off a little bit harder. I mean, yeah, it's decent though. I think you know, if it's, as long as it kind of holds above 100, really, as long as it holds above 100, I'd be happy with it. But it just looks like it's at the mercy of Bitcoin, so whatever Bitcoin does, really. Take a look at Shiba. Yeah, it's been a while. Let's take a look at what Shiba is doing. Nothing really. I mean, this coin's just dead, isn't it? It's not really got anything going on. It's funny how that happens, isn't it? Make this line a little bit less thick. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about Shiba right now. It is definitely brushing up against some resistance. If you trace this dotted blue line, there is definitely some resistance on this chart right here. But, yeah, I don't want to look at this coin yet. There's nothing particularly interesting going on there, I think. Gotta run, have a good one. See you later, William. Thank you for tuning in. Have I been to Laguna Beach? I'm pretty sure I have, although I for some reason I'm thinking that's in Orange County and I don't spend much time there. I've been to all the beaches though, I think. My favorite was probably Hermosa. I don't know why, I just like the vibe. Probably because I went there with a friend. And it was a very, very good friend. There's a big marketing drive for Kronos. Yes, absolutely. And actually, I want to make a note about this. Considering how much marketing goes behind Crypto.com, Kronos, whatever you want to call it. Considering how much firepower is got. These guys were fucking sponsoring F1. I think. I just don't think they're doing well enough. There you go, I said it. I mean, these guys are everywhere. And, I mean, to be fair, they're rank 18. That's not bad, but... That's a $12 billion market cap. I mean, it's alright. It's alright. It's okay. But, I don't know. I just don't... I don't get a good feeling. That's why I've always kind of stayed away from it. And I'm sure it's underperformed against Bitcoin. Let's take a look at CRO BTC. I'm sure it's performed worse than Bitcoin. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Clearly. I mean, to be fair, if you held it during this blow up in November, you're still in a huge profit. But yeah, it's done all right. Actually, it's done all right. I don't know. I just wonder, like, if you're putting this much money behind marketing and, you know, this is the best you can do. You know what I mean? Like, just my honest thoughts. It's a strategy, I just find it a weird one. Shit, if I had the money, I would do it. Move to Switzerland? Hell yeah, that would be beautiful. Yeah, I keep hearing Orange County is much better than LA. I should definitely be there more often. Did I sell my house and go all in on crypto? Not yet, man. That's gonna happen if we hit 20k. Can I check out link? Yes, I will, and that'll probably be my last one. Unless you guys have any other burning questions that I haven't gone through yet, please drop them now. Otherwise, yes, I will be wrapping up this live stream relatively soon. If you have enjoyed this one so far, then do me a favor and smash up the likes. Check if you're subscribed. If you're not already, go ahead and do that. Tick the bell as well so you don't miss out on these videos. You get notified for them. VIP right here if you want to jump inside, and first link in the description to see more free analysis from myself and my team. So if you like this content, you want more of it, you want free stuff, then again, bam, first link in the description down below for you to check it out. Yeah, let's take a look at link now. Again, yeah, just kind of brushing up against resistance. There's not much changing with these altcoins. They are largely at the mercy of Bitcoin. That's why that's why I'm focusing on Ethereum, because Ethereum's actually looking quite independent of Bitcoin at the moment. And so it's worth analyzing. With everything else, I mean, it's just basically doing what Bitcoin is doing, isn't it? So there's not really much point in looking at it if I can look at Bitcoin, which is a far more liquid, predictable coin than any of these other shit coins. Look at DXY. That's a great idea, Simon. Yeah, I will do. I was looking at DXY this morning, actually. It's in a bit of a channel right now. Definitely interesting. Doesn't seem to be causing too much of a problem for Bitcoin. I guess it is, actually, because to be fair, no. To be fair, if we go back to a Bitcoin chart right here and overlay the DXY dollar index. This is the wrong scale. Can I change that? No. Let's see. Okay, let me try this again. New price scale, bam, right there. Let's take a look at this. This is the dollar overlaid against Bitcoin. Hide all of my drawings. And let's see what this chart is telling us, what secrets this chart holds. This is very, very interesting indeed. Okay, so Bitcoin rallying up alongside the dollar, quite independent of it. The dollar dropping and Bitcoin's rallying up as well. Remember, the dollar is the orange line here. Bitcoin is the normal chart. When the dollar was ripping up aggressively, Bitcoin was suffering quite a bit, but bear in mind that's before we broke out. I actually just want to focus your attention on everything that happened basically after this, because this is where we got the real breakout. So let's zoom in a little bit, even on a shorter time frame. There's not actually a real correlation or inverse correlation I'm seeing here. I mean, definitely, yeah, I mean, if anything, it actually seems correlated because, yeah, I mean, the dollar was dropping. It's only when the dollar started rallying up again, only after the dollar started rallying up for some time, that Bitcoin managed to pick up. So mixed signals. Sometimes it correlates with the dollar, sometimes it has a very strong inverse correlation. Generally on the larger time frames, I've found that it's a strong inverse correlation, which means that if the dollar gets stronger, Bitcoin gets weaker, and if the dollar gets weaker, Bitcoin gets stronger, and the long time frames. But for now, it definitely doesn't look like there's anything significant going on. Salt the stream as always, definitely the most straightforward, neutral crypto analysis. Thank you so much, AJ. Really do appreciate you there. Great chart interpreter. Thank you all very, very much. Yeah, guys, I'm going to call it a day there. So if you have enjoyed this live stream, do me a favor again. Just hit up those likes, subscribe, click the bell, do all that good stuff. If you want free money, check out the link to Bybit in the description down below. This is the only exchange that I'm using, regardless of where you are. Of course, if you're in a, regardless of where I am, I'm sorry. If I'm in a restricted territory, then I'm using a VPN, but I can't endorse that. You guys already know the deal there. And of course, all you have to do to get that free money is sign up using my link in the description down below, make your first deposit, and that's it. You get free money that you can trade with, you can withdraw the profits and so on. Very, very powerful offer right there. Literally just free cash deposited into your account. So definitely do take advantage of that if you are interested. You don't even have to use the exchange. You just need to follow those steps and then you can go right back to your normal exchange. But this is the one that I've been using for a long time. I found that it's very secure. It's got great liquidity. I do genuinely believe they're one of the industry leaders. And of course, again, the VIP right here. If you want to follow these 3 quick clicks to ask me how to join, you've already been responded to if you have asked. Beautiful little message here from a VIP member back in towards the beginning of March. I haven't actually brought out fresh pictures, but that's totally fine. Anyway, guys, hope you have enjoyed this one.